Welcome to our executive interview series at CyberTalks, presented by CyberScoop. I'm Wyatt Cash with Scoop News Group, and we're here with Ben Diliberto, lead counsel public sector at Wiz. Ben, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I'd like to start by asking, how has the increasing shift to and reliance on cloud services made real-time cybersecurity and threat detection easier or harder?
Yeah, I think it's pretty well established at this point that cloud has resulted in a significant shift in the way that industry and government uses information technology. The convenience that cloud brings for industry, government, and users has resulted in, I think, what's the natural push to adopt cloud services rapidly. It's no shock bad actors go where the data is, and that's now on cloud. And that same agile adoption of cloud technologies has resulted in an increased attack surface, mainly in cloud. Unfortunately, I think we're at a point where cybersecurity professionals don't necessarily have ubiquitous access to tools that allow alerting to respond to those threats. And let's take, I think, what's an increasingly common example of an attacker moving laterally across cloud layers. With traditional tools, those cloud defenders might receive alerts, but they'll be disconnected, disjointed. They might not present a full image. And really, they're going to require a ton of manual research to really make sense of what's going on. So what that means is that we need tools that provide data on both context, cloud context, what's going on in the architecture, and correlate that with access to the data or penetration of data surfaces, and then tie all that together into a single pane of glass, really. And that's something that Wiz has been working incredibly hard at to make sure that we're able to do that. So, you asked a question about whether it's harder or easier now. I think the answer really is that it's neither. You don't bring, you don't do brain surgery with a butter knife. We have to use sophisticated tools to defend our sophisticated cloud architecture.
And then the White House's national cybersecurity strategy and its push for zero trust security, those have established critical security milestones for the nation and government agencies to meet. How have those initiatives made a difference in how your organization is investing in cybersecurity in the public sector?
Yeah, the National Security Strategy Implementation Plan released this past July details several dozen high-impact federal initiatives targeting implementation before the end of 2025. I think that's really ambitious, and I think that the focus on critical infrastructure sectors is really a good one. Many of the businesses that are going to be covered have not previously been subject to cybersecurity regulations. I think it's encouraging that the federal government is drawing a line in the sand to support and encourage cybersecurity maturity in those sectors. That said, experience, including many years in government myself, would suggest we temper our optimism just a bit. CMMC, the Defense Department's cybersecurity maturity program covering the defense industrial base, is now several years old at this point, and it still hasn't been fully operationalized. So I wouldn't be surprised if trying to impose regulatory compliance on a diverse set of industries, covering critical infrastructure sectors, and a more encounters significant challenges to implementation, even with appropriate incentives. Would say where the White House's efforts, I think, could see rapid and impactful success is in its push for coordination and harmonization of standards that the government itself applies to its use of cybersecurity tools, particularly when it comes to cloud service offerings. Wiz is and has been focused on continually improving our products and making them available to government agencies, whether via a FedRAMP authorization or through the Defense Information Systems Agency. And I would say even when a cloud service provider makes that commitment, which, by the way, requires a significant investment in resources and in personnel, and then they have to wait, the better part of a year to have their program, even reviewed by the government, that has, I think, a necessary chilling effect on cloud service providers being willing to enter into that space. And I think, that results in a delay to the government's ability to implement commercial parity in cloud services.
Well, Dan Diliberto, thank you so much for sharing some of your insights with us here at CyberTalks, and appreciate your additional thoughts about ways that cybersecurity could be improved across the public sector.
Thank you.